Thank you, Dana. Big round of applause for Dana. Yeah, I feel like it was a bad idea to put my beer on that very soft stool. My story is actually about impulse control issues, which is something I had. Actually, during Dana's story just now, I accidentally yelled skin flute twice. So that's the theme for my story. That's like, okay, so let me just say a couple precursors, and hopefully I won't kick that beer over while I'm doing this. First of all, I didn't bring a written story, and you know what, I might regret that later. So we'll find out and see, depending on how this goes. Also, last time, I had a timer, right? And that told me that I was talking too long. This time, I do not have a timer, and I feel like if they invite me to come back, then maybe next time, passive-aggressively, there will be a timer on the stage. So we're just going to see how this goes. So the theme tonight is love and or chocolate. And I chose to talk about or chocolate because I have a deep fear of emotional intimacy. And I don't want to talk to any of you about love. Okay, that's awkward. I'm going to talk about chocolate. But when I say chocolate, it's like a loose umbrella term that I'm just going to throw up there. And then I looked this up. Anecdote actually is like a tiny story. So technically I'm throwing some tiny stories under that umbrella term of chocolate and just like loosely just tying them together, okay? And sometimes when I say chocolate, sometimes what I really mean is an inability to control myself. It's like a synonym for chocolate. And sometimes when I say chocolate, I just mean chocolate, but sometimes I mean addiction. Sometimes I mean compulsive personality traits or the inability to delay gratification, which is a problem that I have. So that's what chocolate means when I tell the story. Sometimes when I say chocolate, what I mean is shopping, which that will come back and make sense later. I know it doesn't make sense right now. So what I want to talk about is how did I develop this relationship to chocolate? How did I develop this relationship to the inability to delay gratification? Well, it started in the womb. But I'm not going to go back that far because that would be weird, right? But genetics is I don't remember it, so I can't talk to you about that. But genetics is a part of the picture, so I am going to talk to you about my parents. And I think my parents are important because not only are they in charge of my genetics, in theory, but also they are in charge of my environment, the environment that I grew up in. So that's important to understanding how did I become a person who lacks the ability to delay gratification. It started with my parents. I'm not going to talk a lot about my dad because there's too much to unpack there. My dad just needs a whole story time hour. I am going to talk about my mom, and if you ever come back to see me again, if I'm ever invited back here, you will learn that I have some deep-seated mommy issues because I talk about her a lot. So one thing I will say just for you to hold on to about my father is that once when I was 20 years old, my father begged me to leave college, to drop out of college, to go to Las Vegas, Nevada and become a male stripper. He was trying to convince me that I was going to miss my train if I didn't act fast. I'm not going to talk anymore about him, so let's just hold on to that. Hold on to that, that's him. Let's talk about her. Okay, and the choices that she made that affected me and the genetics that she passed on to me, okay? I'm just going to start out with a fact about her. I'm not shaming her. I don't believe in shaming. She's a wonderful woman. She's very happy right now. But I'm just going to tell you a fact about her. She is on her third husband and her fourth marriage. So just chew on that for a little bit. That is an actual fact. We met this most recent husband after he had already married her. So just digest that for a moment. I know that's a lot to chew on. I'm going to tell you a story about coming home one day. I was living with my mother and her second husband, Dave, my stepfather, and I came on working on pre-health requisites. I was working on college classes. I just have to say that because I'm insecure. I was living with my parents when I was an adult. So I was working on college classes. I just wanted to say that to make myself feel better. So I was working on college classes. I was an adult, and I came home from school one day, and I opened the front door, and I found my stepfather standing in a sea of styrofoam packing peanuts. And he looked very unhappy. And this man might be on the autism spectrum, so it's hard for him to look unhappy. But he did, and he had a good grasp of that emotion. I said tentatively, Dave, what's going on, Dave? Hey, Dave, what's going on? And he said to me, Your mother ordered 2 vacuums and they came in the mail today. Oh, 2 vacuums. 2 vacuums. The standard is 1 vacuum per household. I'm following you. 2 vacuums. She ordered 2 vacuums. Your mother ordered 2 vacuums and they came in the mail today and we don't have any carpet in our house. Oh, touche, Dave. Touche. I do realize I didn't pay attention before, but you're right. It is predominantly wood flooring in the home. I'm following you. That is a little troublesome. I agree. Your mother ordered 2 vacuums. They came in the mail today. Our house only has wooden floors, and she already has 3 vacuums. Okay. There's nothing I can say to you to make you feel better or to defend her at this point. I was going to try to defend her when it was 2 vacuums. Like, okay, well, maybe she just doesn't want to carry the second vacuum up the stairs. I don't know. But now she has just trumped that defense of my mother. What can you say to 5 vacuums? There's nothing you can say except that is a problem. There is a clear problem. She has excessively purchased vacuums. That's the most clearest way for me to frame this problem. I think this problem might be related to another personality problem, but we'll just start there. She has too many vacuums. I'll talk to her. So I decided to talk to my mother that night, and I asked her, hey, Mom, tread lightly with your mother, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mom, got your vacuums in the mail today. What's going on with that? And she got really happy, and she smiled, and she said, I've always wanted that vacuum. I just thought about that for a moment. A, she's 60. That is a very new model vacuum. I'm pretty sure that she's lying to me. B, if she's not lying, there's something wrong if the depth of her fantasy is, I desire this vacuum. Mom, you've always wanted the vacuum. I've always wanted the vacuum, and I thought, hey, why not? I'll get 2. So let's all digest that for a moment. So what does that mean, right? That means that she is making purchases based on her emotions and not on logic. Because her response was not, I don't have a vacuum, which would have been a logical response. Why did you buy that vacuum, Mom? I bought that vacuum because I do not have a vacuum. Why did you buy that vacuum, Mom? I bought that vacuum because my vacuum's broken. Why did you buy that vacuum, Mom? I bought that vacuum because I wanted it, and I thought, hey, why not? I'll get 2. Okay, we have a clear problem here. You should not have access to your own credit card. I know that's not a popular topic, but you have to admit 5 vacuums is excessive. So that is my mother. She does lack impulse control, and she was, along with the man that we already mentioned earlier, the one making decisions about how to raise me. And that is why I lack impulse control today. Genetics and environment. Let's frame the environment in which I grew up in. And I know I can't go into that because there is no time where actually I could go into that. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to try to be concise. I'm going to try to be concise. It's not my strong suit, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit of information about my upbringing just to kind of give you just the tiniest iceberg idea of what it was like. So my mother loved us. She was a generous woman who lacked impulse control. She would often give us $5 to go down to the corner store and get ourselves some chocolate. To get ourselves some chocolate. And I would. And let me say, you might be identifying with this a little bit. You might be thinking, yes, my mother would do that. She would give me 75 cents to go down to the corner store and get some chocolate. My mother would give me $5. And it was in the early 90s. That was a lot of chocolate. That was a Frosty and a Welch's Great Pop and a Charleston Chew, and that was a lot of chocolate. And as a result, I was a very rotund, small human being. I looked like a small herd animal. It's just I was as wide as I was tall. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just where I was. That's where I was at that point in my life, as wide as I was tall. So that's a good fact about me for you to hold on to. And then here are just some other facts about me. So first of all, let's unpack that decision, right? $5 and excessive. Now, and also, she would not just do this on holidays, right? She wouldn't just give me $5 on holidays. She would give me $5 maybe 3 times a week. So that's a $15 allowance for no reason other than probably she was just desperate to have me leave the house for a small period of time. which I can understand because I have nieces, right? I have nieces and nephews. There's 6 of them. Sometimes I go babysit them, and then every now and then I have to lock myself in the bathroom and ugly cry for a little bit just to feel like a person again, and then come back out and I can love them again. So I get it. She was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, and I need you to leave because you require a lot of attention. So here's $5. I'm going to do this about 3 times a week. Here's a $15 budget for chocolate. So I was a rotund human being. Some other facts about me. I had asthma. Okay. I wore glasses. All right. I definitely had ADHD. Okay. Maybe slightly effeminate, right? And how did my parents get together and decide that they want to just round out that package? How do they want to ensure that I'm accepted by my peers socially? They decided that they would enroll me in clogging. I don't know if I need to say any more, but I think we all know what clogging is. So it's like, oh, what do you do to stay active? Well, I play sports, I play football. What do you do? I play soccer, that's pretty cool. What do you do? I tap dance. That's less cool, but that's pretty cool. What do you do? I clog. That's less cool than tap dancing. Clogging is the less cool cousin of tap dancing, and it's only to country music, so all of our performances were outside at venues that had farm animals. To country music, and let me just make this a little bit weirder for you. It's partner dancing, and guess who my partner was? My older sister, who went through puberty at a very early age and was 1.5 feet taller than I am. Every time I tried to spin her, she would hit her head on my arm. So I made the creative choice during clogging to clog without moving my arms. So it wasn't something I was instructed to do necessarily. It was just my own creative choice. Like, I'm going to do this, but you know what? I'm not going to move my arms. And also, I'm going to grimace. But I'm going to commit. I'm going to grimace and not move my arms and just furiously move my legs. Just all across the stage, just like a very rotund, very depressed Michael Flatley. Just an unhappy, oscillating circle of a river dancer. Just twirl, twirl! Okay. So I feel like we've unpacked a lot here today. And I should have started this with the fact that there is no ending to the story. I don't have an ending, but we do understand why I am who I am a little bit more than we did when I started talking. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Give it up for Justin Killed Up. Justin, your beer. Come on, man. Get it together. Let's go.